We've got pictures here of this drill from a few months ago involving the Russians in Colorado. And I believe this was even mentioned on the Oath Keepers website.
Yeah, so it was mentioned on the National Forum. I think during that time they were trying to basically verify this information. And apparently there's pictures out now of them training all together.
They're very clear pictures.
Yes, so they are that. You can tell by their different sorts of uniforms.
So all of this pretty much ends the idea that it's a conspiracy theory that foreign troops could be stationed in the United States to restore order. Right. And that is why that tenet that is in the Oath Keepers, we now know the evidence that this is happening. The government has invited these groups to participate in these war games, and in these particular drills and events, they're taking on terrorists, domestic enemy combatants, and the question is, what type of event are we going to foresee that's going to cause that backlash against the government? And we look at all the oppressive things that are taking place now. They're setting the stage for violence, as Ron Paul has also said. Mm-hmm. And as we go back to the pictures, and we have a lot of them, let's show them all, because this is documentation of something that's happening in real time. And Red Dawn was a movie about the Russian invasion. Right. This isn't an invasion. This is an invitation. Exactly. And so if we know they're inviting the Russians, if we know that they're inviting troops from 95, 96 countries, perhaps more. I mean, I just find that number to be astronomical. How do we know that China won't at some point be invited by our government to restore order? We owe so much money to China, right. And we know that certain things are being bought up in this country by mm-hmm. China, and we know we have a serious issue with the national deficit, but at the same time, this same military-industrial complex that you've turned against, that I am also against, they seem to be arming the whole world to the teeth. Have you noticed that?
I noticed in this country, I noticed that the Second Amendment's being attacked by our own government, like the Fast and the Furious. Mm-hmm. Putting tracking devices on weapons, they're allowed to go across the border.
Now let's take a closer look at that last picture, and we see a very clear picture of the blue berets.
Yeah, that's special forces on the Russian side.
Okay.
Sputniks, whatever you call them.
And if you look at the American soldier on the left here, you look at his jaw, mm-hmm. at his, he has a very stern look to him. And maybe it's because he doesn't want to be in this drill. But it could also be that he's just an angry SOB and he was hand-picked also on the American side to be a part of this special forces operation, because I'm going to go ahead and speculate that a lot of these men that are involved in these integration drills have no conscience. Otherwise, they wouldn't be involved in this. I know some of them don't have a choice, but we do know that there is grooming that takes place. There are people that are hand-picked for special operations, and that there are profiling that goes on within the military when it comes to placing people in certain directions.
Well, you know, that's the reason behind Oath Keepers. We're trying to outreach to each and every one of these men and women that wear the uniform. We want them to know that, hey, we want you to be conscious of lawful and unlawful immoral orders. We want you to search yourself, okay? Look into this site. Yeah, I mean, we're here to educate. I mean, read the Constitution, read the Bill of Rights, your Declaration of Independence. Look over the federal papers. Get yourself educated, because the educational system in this country is in serious, serious trouble because of lack of education. They've dumbed the kids down. But they want young folks that are basically, they want young folks that can't think, but they can think if we just wake them up.
What is he looking at? It's like he's looking into a coffin.
I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like a drawing of some sort.